Welcome to Tegan J Gaming. My name's Tegan, and to get my trailer clear on, you may know me from Dungeon Jedi Masters or other Star Wars 5e related content. But this channel is going to be a look at the wider world of tabletop RPGs and geek culture. So thank you for joining me on the first ever YouTube video for the channel. Today I just wanted to kind of let you guys know a little bit what to expect. This year, one of my goals was to play new systems. I feel like myself and a lot of the tabletop community as a whole kind of are started with Dungeons and Dragons, and sometimes we stay a little bit too much with Dungeons and Dragons. And I feel like 5e is the giant in the room and gets the credit it deserves, but sometimes it blocks the light and the love that could fall on some of the other systems. And that's what I want to do with this channel, is take a look at some of those other systems and bring some cool content and bring awareness, a spotlight, and hopefully find something new that you guys may like and bring back to your table and your crew and have a fun time playing. Because this year, kind of my New Year's resolution is I want to play a new system, or run a new system, I should say, each month. And I'm going to be doing that with this channel, is running that new system. And it's going to be kind of split into four core categories for the channel. Actual play content with my Twitch stream. You'll be able to watch live as we go through and learn some of these new systems, as well as some of our other current favorites we've got too. And we'll be hosting any ones that's not Star Wars on this channel. So keep an eye out for my Mutant Masterminds videos, Power Rangers, etc. There's some more coming up too. So those will all be hosted on this channel as long as they're not Star Wars. Outside of that, if they're Star Wars, and if you don't know about Dungeons Jedi Masters, go drop a link and subscribe on the YouTube there, as well as our podcast and all the tons of other content we've got going over Star Wars and Star Wars 5e. But for this, the actual plays will be more on some of those unique systems. So we'll have that, actual plays. We'll also have kind of reviews of the different systems. So once we run an actual play of a new system, and each month there'll be hopefully at least one new system, and I want to keep myself to that resolution, that I'll run first in the actual play, and then the next week I'll have a review up on the YouTube like an old person, on YouTube, where you can see what I thought about the system, get some cool tips and tricks for running it, and just kind of get some impressions too, just to see if this will be right for your table, if this is the gameplay that you're looking for. Because one of the big things, and this is kind of a truism for people who play 5e and traditionally D&D, they'll try to fit 5e as a square peg into any round hole, but there's a lot of cool systems that can do certain things better that you maybe want to be bringing to your game. So those reviews and those kind of walkthroughs would be great places for me to point out, at least from my view, some of the things it does well and how you could utilize that if you're looking for that type of game. So keep those on this spotlight. We'll go into some of the ones that are coming up soon in that one, but I'll give a highlight there too. But outside of the actual plays, the system reviews, I'm also going to have some tales from the table. These will be a mix from kind of all the games I run, and there'll be a little bit of Star Wars stuff in there too for my Star Wars games. But it'll primarily be a mix of the new systems I'm running, Mutants and Masterminds, which is a big one. We'll touch on that a little bit later. As well as my traditional D&D game, or my heavily modified D&D game, Kazuya, which I'm not currently streaming, but once Campaign 2 comes around, that's going to be on this channel as well. So those are kind of the big three pillars. There's a fourth pillar though too, and that one's going to be focused on mutants and masterminds. As you see behind, I'm a huge superhero fan. It probably goes Star Wars, superheroes, unfortunately, but right behind Star Wars is superheroes. And I've been starting off the year for looking for new systems. Superheroes were kind of front and center for me. And I kind of hunted through, looked around, read some reviews, and Mutants and Masterminds was one of the ones I came across, and I love it. It's a fantastic system. If you ever wanted to build your own superhero, don't try to twist and break 5e and make it that work. Check out Mutants and Masterminds. You can build any superhero, villain, construct, whatever you could think of, you can build in this system, and it has good fleshed out rules for running it and making it fun. There's going to be a lot. I don't want to go too much into it because it's definitely going to be next video is going to be why play Mutants and Masterminds. I'm going to really hit it hard there, but my new favorite system, I really want to get more people playing it. And that's going to be the fourth pillar of this channel, is going over not only how to run the system, or how to kind of build a character in the system, which is a big piece of it, and has been kind of covered by a lot of other YouTubers. But one of the big things I want to do for the system is that the thing I noticed the lack of is dungeon master, general game master content. A lot of it's geared towards building your own character, but there's not much to help you run the game. So I want to really help out on that. So I kind of do similar to what Todd and I did at Dungeon Jedi Masters and help bring some content to make running it easier and less of a kind of Herculean task. I want to do that with this channel just to get more people playing Mutants and Masterminds because I really, it's a fun system and I want the world to know it. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be something big that we're going to be focusing on here with the game channel. But overall, I want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up on what's next for both my YouTube channel as well as my Twitch. And there'll be links to the Twitch below too. If you're not already following me, follow me every Tuesday, usually about 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. We're running a game, whether it be a Star Wars 5e game, one of our new games, which we'll be hosting here, or even just kind of a 5e game. It's going to be a mix of different things that I'm running. Come check out the crew. We've got great players across the board and kind of see how, just some different perspectives as the game gets through. But here's a look at the actual play content coming up on my channel. And I'm going to kind of point out a few that are going to be coming over here too. So Invasion, that's my core Star Wars 5e campaign. Don't want to talk too much here. If you want to hear more of that, go to Dungeon Jedi Masters. This is not going to be hitting my Star Wars stuff too much. And same thing with Rogue Squadron and the Warlords of Sereno. Both of those, fantastic. Come watch us live. But if you want to hear more, head over to Dungeon Jedi Masters, and I've got some cool videos up on that side. But the big one I want to go to, this is going to be our first system review for the channel. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I'm a 90s kid. I grew up on the Power Rangers, the old Zordon, Rita Repulsa era, and that's what this game is going to be. Renegade put out this system. It's a D20 system, and that's it's not based off 5e too, so it's a D20. It's not 5e. Points there, because I love D20s. I know there's a lot of other games that use D6 and other kind of dice that you can go through and roll. But there's just something for rolling a D20 for me, whatever system it may be, that just really kind of hits me right in the nostalgia, kind of that area where it just gets me hyped to play. So that's always a selling point for me. I've read through the system. I haven't played it yet. That's going to be one of the nice things, too, with these actual plays. They're all usually going to be the first time that I'm actually going through and running it. So you'll get to see me kind of stumble and learn through the system. But you also get to see kind of the things that I point out, too, hopefully with some tips and tricks and resources, too. I always like to do that first time play because I think a lot of times that first time can be a big hurdle for people kind of jumping into the system. And this time you'll get to see me run through it the very first time and probably have some pitfalls or gaps and things like that. But you learn on the way, and as long as you and your players have fun, that's what matters. So you'll get to see that, and hopefully me and my players will have fun too. So that's April 5th, 6:30. That next week, we'll post the actual play probably that next day on YouTube. Then the next week, we're going to go through and do a system review, ins and outs of what kind of clicked for me and what didn't click. So stay tuned for that. Also, April 19th, we've got Mutants and Masterminds. Each month, there'll be a Mutant and Masterminds adventure. Unfortunately, I tried to do a little bit too much in March, and my players weren't available off of a different day for Tuesday. So, no Mutants and Masterminds in March, but April, we're kicking that off with the Superheroes of Arcadia, which is a kind of a Silver Age style adventure. And for those of you guys who aren't familiar with the Silver Age term, basically it's more of a campy, more of a loose kind of a game. And the way I run it that, because most of my other campaigns, my Kazia D&D campaign, Invasion, all very serious. So with Arcadia, I gotta give it more laid back, a little bit more of a goofy tone. But that's not to say that Mutants and Masterminds can't do a serious tone. It's just kind of what I'm looking for right now to mix it up from my other games. But join us. We've got a great cast of heroes. It's going to be a blast. But overall, this is the first session, or the first video of Tegan J Gaming. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate you all for giving us a shot. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitch. I'll have the links below. Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter are usually how you can catch up with me and kind of see what I'm working on next. And if you ever want to give a suggestion for a cool system you think I'd enjoy, throw it in the comments here. Throw it on Twitter, wherever you may think it fits best. I always love seeing those suggestions. Now, I usually, if Dungeon Jedi Masters, I'd be like, may the force be with you, but I'm not sure what to say closing here. But I'm just going to end it with thank you and hope to see you all again.